You're going to hear me talk a lot about the value of doing things the old-fashioned way. Our grandparents and parents really did have some gardening techniques that were based on good, solid reason. Too often we've tried to do things a new way and really mess things up in the garden. But in the case of roses, there is a newfangled way of doing things that seems to work very well. Now, traditionally, we have cut our roses back at the end of the growing season to about 12 to 18 inches off the ground, very short. Well, the new idea is to cut them at about 3 feet off the ground. That way, when the growing season begins again, they're going to be taller, more upright, and put more of their energy into creating new foliage and flowers, and less into just getting new cane. Now, the exception to this rule is if you live in a very cold climate. When you put your roses to bed in the wintertime, you may want to cover them up with straw or some other insulating matter, and in that case, you probably need to go closer to the ground. When you go to prune your roses, what you're going to try and achieve is a vase shape so that lots of air and sunlight can get into the center of the plant, and there'll be good air circulation as well. When you cut, you look for an outward-facing bud on a leaf grouping of at least 5 leaves. This is an Old English rose, so it has 7 leaves. But you look for an outward-facing bud and make your cut at an angle so that as water hits the top of that cane, it's not going to settle and cause rot. It'll run right off. If you do that and you give it the right natural fertilizer, you're going to have a rose that is tall and beautiful, full of wonderful foliage, and best of all, big, healthy blooms.